Hey guys, what is up? My name is Sunny Dragon, and today I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. With new games coming out, I am one of the few people who thinks that the meta is going to change a lot. Not for ladder, but for more of draft league. And I kind of wanted to do this video to show how there's still great mods currently. Also, like how the meta is going to change, at least in my opinion. Also, this is a requirement for the MPL miners application, which I'm not going to lie about. That's one of the main reasons why I'm doing this video. But I feel like if I enjoy making a video like this, and you guys as well enjoy it, I think I'll continue doing this for both newcomers into Draft League or just existing coaches in the Draft League format. Just wanted to see someone else's opinion on a mon or anything like that. So that's all up to reaction to the video. This video will be my personal opinion on the best mon in Draft League. And if you can't tell by now, to me, I think it's Lando T. For one, I find it the best because it's very versatile, and unlike something like Mew, it's versatile, but it's also kind of simplistic in a way because it's a little bit more standard than a Mew, so you actually have an idea of what you can run and what you should run than a Mew, because I know for myself personally, I've used both Mew and Landorus, and I had a lot more trouble with Mew because I didn't know what kind of set I was running, and with an enormous move pool, it's really hard to set down. So for a new player or one who's not experienced with a versatile mon, I feel like Landorus is really good. And even if you don't really understand how to use a versatile and you use the same set every week, Landorus has the capabilities to run itself. Like, it's fine if you use the same set over and over again, but it's very versatile and it can do its own stuff. Also, combined with the amazing ability Intimidate in draft, you instantly turn this from an amazing wall breaker or potential setup sweeper into a wall breaker plus an all defensive wall, because you kind of cut your opponent's attack in almost in half, which is really nice. And if you look at his stats, I mean, base 90 defense isn't terrible with 89 HP. You get the Intimidate boost as well. It's now, it really isn't, but you can kind of say it is about 135 base defense because you're getting that 1.5 increase to your defense technically. So it's really nice in that sense, and really great attack. 145, you can't go anything wrong with that. 105 special attack, I mean, I've never used it specially. I've known people who have, and that kind of works out for them, so it's great. And also 105 special attack, that's more than a Mew, so an Earth Power from Lando T is doing more than a Psychic from a Mew. So that's pretty amazing, to be honest. And 91 speed. No other mon gets 91 as their base speed, so that's kind of interesting for Landorus. It's own thing. Also, because of that 91, you're normally going to be running Choice Scarf a lot, so it kind of forces you to run Choice Scarf, and it forces your opponent to prep for Choice Scarf, which is good, in my opinion, because they're expecting the Choice Scarf, so they're going to do just that, prep for a Choice Scarf, because if Landorus is going up against something like a Manaphy or something, it can't really do anything because the Manaphy outspeeds and outgoes with an Ice Beam. With a Choice Scarf, it outspeed, does damage, might even kill if it has prior damage. So your opponent's probably going to expect a Choice Scarf, which can help you lead to using any other set that I might be showing to you, or a combination of sets, or something else that you guys can think up of. Also, the 91 sorry about that. Also, the 91 base speed helps it against other Scarfers, except for base 100 Scarfers, because I know base 80 Scarfers are pretty common as well. Stuff like Chandelure is known to be a Scarfer. T-Tar, it's slow. It's base like 64 if I'm not mistaken. That is a pretty good Scarfer if used correctly. But they're all going to be outsped by Lander's Scarf. So you're going to outspeed all the other normal Choice Scarfers. If you're on a Choice Scarf set, you also kind of get that little prediction niche pick in forcing your opponent to think you might bring a Scarf Landorus, which isn't terrible because this set's pretty good. It's pretty common that I've seen. For the 5 standard moves on a Landorus, U-turn for momentum pairs very well with Choice Scarf and Intimidate, especially if you're up against them on like Arcanine or a physical attacker like a Mega Medicham, and you can shut them down easily. You're faster than them, you outspeed, you get a little bit of chip damage, U-turn, you get momentum, and if you have something like, I don't know, Tangrowth in the back for the Medicham, you can U-turn switch into the Tangrowth. Obviously, that's not going to really help you because you're going to click Ice. It's going to click Ice Punch anyways, but it gives you momentum, and I feel like with the Intimidate, you get an extra boost as well because not only are you outspeeding, getting chip damage, you're getting momentum, but you're also lowering their attack, and if they're a physical attack or clicking a physical move, you're just taking even less damage overall. Earthquake, paired with the amazing 145 base stat of attack, it's hitting like a truck. I mean, with stab, it's Earthquake's a base 150 move, so that's really good damage done. A lot of the common walls in this meta, like Toxapex and Registeel, are both pretty common walls. They're going to get blown back. And the only thing that really can switch into an Earthquake is flying types, which you can just click Rock Slide and you kill them because you're a Landorus and you're killing everything. Not really, but you do a lot of damage. And also, if you're a Choice Scarf set, you can run Rock Slide and go for that flinch. I mean, obviously it's Haxy and no one really likes playing against Hax, but if that's what's needed, it definitely works out. And then you get knockoff as well. I mean, Choice Scarf knockoff isn't the best, but I've done it a few times and it's helped me out a lot. Like, I've taken a lot of damage on my Landorus, but being able to get the knockoff, and then with the Intimidate, I can live the hit. It works really nicely. And if you're lucky and your opponent's team isn't that threatening, you can always EV the Landorus. I know I normally put a little bit of bulk, like a good amount, like 140 in HP, but that's very situational and that's for a certain matchup. So it doesn't always work, but I find it helpful. Or you can just go with the main max attack, max speed, or you can speed creep, because this is literally outspeeding every single Choice Scarfer except for base 100s. Well, anything over 91, but that's normally going to be base 100s and the occasional Darmanitan that you see. So that's not too much. So that puts Landorus at a very nice speed tier range with the Choice Scarf because you're outspeeding everything except for like Mega Aerodactyl and Mega Beedrill. But you're not going to face those too often in draft. maybe once, at most twice, normally 0. But that's the most standard set that I find in draft. Another set is the defensive Rocky helmet. This one normally runs a stealth rock. I mean, you can run stealth rock also in the scarf set. I personally don't like it, but it's definitely doable. The Rocky helmet and Intimidate makes you a great physical wall, especially if your opponent can't switch out, and you can repeatedly switch in Landers. Free chip damage with Rocky Helmet, and every single Intimidate means you're taking less damage overall. So, pretty similar to the Choice Scarf. I mean, obviously, with this set, you probably put a lot more in HP and some defenses if you need to. Not any speed or very little speed if you really need it, but I don't see you needing it. I find this to be a good lead, especially if you know your opponent's going to be leading with something like a Flare Blitz Scarf Darmanitan. So you take a little bit of damage, not as much because of the Intimidate, give them some damage and you get free rocks, or you can just get a free knockoff and get rid of their item. But if it's something good and very important to your team, I mean, not to your team, to your opponent's team, knockoff would be better, or you can just U-turn and get momentum. So that's Rocky Helmet. I find another one is the Yachi Berry Dual Dance set. I mean, you don't have to go Dual Dance, you can go with one boosting move. You can go also, instead of Yachi Berry, you could go with the Z move, Rockinium Z or Flyinium Z. I like Yachi Berry because normally when I do my league matches, I normally face some sort of ice type or an ice type move like HP Ice. So like, it helps in like Tapu Koko right now is one of the top tier draft picks in my opinion, and if it's ever facing a Lando T, you're going to be running an HP Ice. So this way you can sit on it, take 1 HP Ice from full, click a Rock Polish, Earthquake, get rid of it, and now you're boosted with speed, and you can just go on to sweep. Or if you, I guess, EV it right, you can take an HP Ice with the Yachi from the Coco and like something else, so you can get a Swords Dance up and then sweep. So you can do that. And then I should probably switch this. I'll go to this one. And then there's also the, like I said earlier, you can go Dual Dance Rockinium Z or Flyinium. Oh, Flyinium Z. I think Flyinium Z is by far the best Z move on Landers, just because of Fly. Fly is base 90, and then Flyinium Z makes it, I think, 130 plus stab, so it's a lot. I mean, it's not as hard hitting as a Tectonic Rage Earthquake, but I mean, you have no other way to really hit grass types other than Sludge Bomb and Sludge Wave. And if you're going with a physical set, this doesn't really work. And Flying in EMZ, you don't really have a switch into a flying type move because you're not going to switch in your steel type, because then Lando can just click Earthquake, so the next turn, so it's pointless. And most electric types in Draft League as of right now, like Coco, Mega Manetric, if it's being used. I can't think of any others right now. Wow, this is upsetting. Raikou, Jolteon, they're all frail and they're going to die from an Earthquake anyways. So there's no point in doing that either. And plus that you are immune to the electric type moves. So Z-Fly I find really great, and if you can use Z-Fly plus a Sword Dance, you can wall break through a team to let another Mon like a Tapu Koko or like, I don't know, Mega Steelix or the Mega Blastoise you have in the background to continue punching through, or have something like a Mega Gyarados be able to click that D dance so you can sweep with through the use of Lando T's Z Fly. So I find Z Fly to be the most effective and the strongest. Obviously, you can go with the like I had the have to do like this, which is weird. The Arcanium Z with Rock Slide. Oh wow, I didn't know I could do that. The Rock Slide or something like Stone Edge, and really go powerful, or go with like the Groundinium Z Earthquake. But I find Z Fly to be the best, and if you can compare it with tie it to a boosting move like Rock Polish or Swords Dance, you just make yourself even more powerful, in my opinion. Next is I find Choice Band Set. To me, I feel like it's the same moveset as a Scarf. You're just hitting harder. And I find, to me, I find this set, I'm not going to really prep for anything. I'm just going to put random numbers down and kind of explain why. I feel like this is, or something very similar to this, I feel like a bulky Choice Band Set would work really great. If you have to outspeed something, you outspeed them, speed creep with the rest in bulk. Go max attack, you just 389 plus Choice Band, you're destroying things with Earthquake. And this works really well if you have a bulky Mon that you're facing. You just break right through it and they're not doing a lot of damage. And if it's something like, I don't know, Toxapex, yeah, its liquidation is going to be super effective against you, but you also intimidated them, so you're not taking as much as well. And with the boosts to your HP or defense, whatever you decide to EV it, you're doing a lot more damage, so I feel like it's pretty strong. I know this would be more of a late game wall breaker. That's how I would play it if I was running this. Have something else get rid of the threats or the faster mons. I can revenge kill this, and then come and sweep through it. I feel like this set reminds me of like a Choice Banded Mamoswine. It's really hard. You don't really have a lot of switch-ins. I mean, you have a few, but not many. It's a really big prediction game on what move you have to lock yourself into. But it doesn't really matter because you're probably going to be clicking Earthquake 9 out of the 10 times anyways. So it really doesn't matter to you. But even after you kill something, you're just going to get revenge killed. So you kind of need team support with it. So that's really helpful, but I feel like it all depends on team matchup. I still feel the best one, where is the Yachi Berry Dual Dance if you really need a setup sweeper, if you need support, Rocky Helmet Stealth Rock, or if you really just want to. I feel like the overall best would be the Choice Scarf set because it kind of does a little bit of everything. You can easily throw, instead of knockoff, have like Stealth Rock. Now you can be a lead Stealth Rocker, you can also be a lead U-turner, scout out for moves. You're still hitting hard. I mean, you can, I'm probably sure you can run away with, you can probably run away with something like this and still be fine. In any sense, obviously, like everything, it depends on your opponent's team, but draft, I feel like this works really well. You're defensive with your Intimidate, also support with your Stealth Rock, which is nice, momentum with your U-turn Choice Scarf, and then you're still hitting hard with an Earthquake. I mean, obviously, if you really want a little bit more support, you can probably, I don't know, throw some speed creeps and throw some UVs and defenses, and if you really need it, throw a nature that you need, and now you can kind of do whatever you want. I mean, it's all up to you. I feel like this is the best set overall, but I mean, that's all up to opinion and all standard. Um, Another set that works really well, well, it doesn't work really well. It's very uncommon, but every time I do see it, it works very well. I know one of my friends, TJ, he kind of reminded me forcefully, very forcefully, but I do have to say, to add this to make sure to talk about Calm Mind Landers because it is a threat, and I've never used it personally. I've seen it only 2 or 3 times live, but every single time I've seen it, it's swept through games. I mean, item you probably can throw on some berry leftovers if you need it, and or something you can even throw on a rocky helmet. Rocky helmet plus intimidate deters physical attackers from hitting you. Then you can set up a calm mind, and then you take that 105 base special attack and 80 special defense, and you start boosting those up. And then you're not really getting hit really hard, especially defensive. And with Rocky Helmet Intimidate, or just plain Intimidate, you're deterring physical attackers as well, so it works out. And Landers doesn't have a pretty bad special move pool. I mean, you have Psychic, Sludge Wave, Earth Power. I mean, these are just the first 3 that pop up. On Showdown, I think the top is the top. I'm probably missing a few, but like, I mean, you hit a lot. You're hitting those fairy types to support your dragon or whatever. You're hitting those poison types like the Toxapex you gotta deal with. Or, I mean, you can hit it with Earth Power as well, hit those Steel types. And it's also very niche, and, like, most people don't really expect it. I mean, when I see a Landorus Therian, I'm expecting someone to go use that at 145 attack instead of the 105 special attack, but I mean, it does work. And I mean, let's look, and when you get extra sensory, focus, blast, grass, and all that, you get HP out of it. So, like, there's still a lot you can use with this set. I mean, it's a lot more niche, a lot more situational, but I've seen it work, so I feel like that's really good. And now there's kind of like Mew, you're very versatile. You can go special, you can go physical, you can go full support, mixed of everything, set up, or nuke, or setup nuke, or whatever. But I feel like, unlike Mew, Landers has a way better ability. I feel like, I know this is going to sound weird, a slightly better move pool because it's more concentrated, so it's easier to work around and pick what moves you need. Like 9 out of 10 times you're going to have an Earthquake on it. Makes it easier to pick what moves you're going to have and what you're not going to have. And it works. I feel like, personally. Not just me. The stats, okay, they're not 100 and everything, but I feel like they work a lot better than a Mew or any of the other base 100s. 145 attack, you're hitting really hard, a lot harder than any of them can imagine. 105 special attack, it's the weaker of the 2 attacks, yet you're still hitting harder than a modest max special attack Mew Psychic if you're modest using Earth Power. Both get stabbed, you're still 5 special attack base points higher. I mean, your special defense is a lot lower. Not a lot, 20 points. It's lower, same with your defense and HP, but with Intimidate, you kind of negate the defense, plus give you support for the rest of your team as well. And the speed, okay. You don't it's a really weird speed tier. Not that great, but I mean, if you're going bulky, you don't really need to be speedy, so it doesn't matter to you if you're bulky. And like I kind of mentioned before, the speed tier kind of allows you to run that scarf successfully against other scarfers if they're not base 100s. And even if they are, you can still run them successfully because then you have your other support class stats like your intimidate and your other moves to help it out. And it also kind of forces your opponent to be like, I gotta prep for this scarf Lando T before it wrecks my face, and then bring in something like a, a dual dance Landers. Yes, you'll need support, but it opens up the doorways to other things. Unlike a Mew, where you have to actually be like, okay, I kind of have to think about what I want, what moves. It's only 4 moves. I don't know what I need. And they're not that. Most of them aren't that strong, anyways. Like Fire Punch isn't that great. Lander's a lot more confined, but you know what you're gonna have to pick, and it helps you. And actually, I feel like it helps you out, especially for a new player. Being versatile helps. You fit in all the roles. You hit the defensive, you hit the offensive, you hit the support, hit the mix of combination of any of them. Really good tier 1, great ability to intimidate, one of the best abilities, if not the best ability in Draft League. Really solid typing in ground. You always need a ground type in draft, contrary to whatever anyone says. And it also has a flying type. It gives you an immunity to ground type moves, like that Earthquake, which helps. So it has everything. It has the stats, has everything. So I feel like this is why Landers Therian is the best and will always be the best Draft League Mon, at least for these first 8 generations. We'll see when Gen 9 comes out, but as of right now, I feel like even with the introduction of Sun and Ultra Moon, I feel like Lando T is still going to be top 3 draft picks in the entirety of all draft leagues in the whole world. I feel like it's better than Mew, and this can kind of do what a Mega does without taking the Mega slot, so you can pick up another Mega and have this paired with something like a Mega Gardevoir and while breaking both sides, whatever. So that's that. Now that I kind of have like core sets, even though they're not really because I didn't have EVs, I just kind of wanted to talk about some other moves that you could run that you don't really normally see in ladder, but because it's draft, you kind of want to go with that other. You want to kind of play into your opponent's mind, and there's other moves that you normally don't use that you can use and will actually help you win games. But before I get to that, I just kind of want to talk about E-Belt. It's kind of like a life orb. It just slightly weaker, but you don't lose health. And if you're going with a bulky attacker, it works because you're giving up a lot of offensive pressure for being that bulk. But the expert bulk kind of makes up for it because it does damage overall, boosting. And most of the time you're going to be clicking either super effective or neutral. And if you are really good at predicting, you can get a lot of super effective damage with Earthquake and a Rock Slide or whatever. So it works. And especially if you're U-turning and you just have an expert belt, Rock Slide, Earthquake, and like Stealth Rock, if that's your set, whatever. And you're just clicking U-turn on a Shaman, on a physical defensive Shaman to tank those Rock Slides and your Earthquakes. Free chip damage on the Shaman, plus that it's boosted and momentum, so it works out. Now, into the moves itself, you have Superpower, which is probably, I feel like, the best way to hit a Ferrothorn outside of like Calm Mind, HP Fire. Great against most steals. I mean, I don't know why you would use Superpower over Earthquake, other than like Ferrothorn. So, and I mean, you could technically slap a fighting EMZ superpowered. It still works. Does a lot of damage, which is nice. You have gravity, literally just there for no switch-ins to an earthquake. And if you are gravity max attack adamant Landorus Therian dropping off earthquakes, you really have no switch-in. So niche, very rarely seen, but you can use it. With the introduction of Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, you have defog. So while on the standard set, I mean, as you can see, there's a lot of earthquakes, rock slides, U-turns, either knockoff or like South Rock. Defog's gonna be kind of hard to fit on, but just another option for a defog user, so it's nice. So if you're kind of low on hazards, hazard removal, my bad, you have that extra option. You're not going to often be running it, especially since you can be setting up your own rocks, but it's another option, and it might help. I don't know how well it's, or how often it's going to be used in this generation, but I think it's a nice option. So there's that. Then you have bulk up, kind of like a calm mind. It's the opposite of a calm mind. I've never seen it used, but I feel like if you can support Landorus enough for it to use bulk up, then it literally becomes the tankiest of defensive walls with Intimidate. So I feel like bulk up can work. I've never seen it used. I don't think I often see it used or ever see it used, but it's another option there. I have HPIs mostly for other. This is mostly for ladder use on other Landoruses, but I mean you can easily swap that out for like HP Fire. Now you're hitting Ferrothorn. Now you're hitting Gyarados, Pellet Burst. Now you're hitting a Mantine. I mean Scarf, HP Electric to Oko. The Pellet Burst, if you're facing a rain team, will help you greatly, so that's nice. Scarf Explosion, which is always a great set. I mean, you could also go Sash Explosion for the lead set. You take the hit, bring yourself down to Sash, and you still get the Explosion off, get rid of them. Or you can go normal Gem, which is nice. You get Grass Knot for stuff like Mega Swampert, or the stuff. You get Focus Blast for the Registeel if you're running a Calm Mind set. You have Facade. If you ever get burned, you have a Facade. You have Stone Edge, which is a lot stronger than Rock Slide, not as reliable, and I feel like if you're going Scarf, you might as well go with Rock Slide, because if you can get the flinch, the occasional flinch, I feel like that's just a lot better than the extra damage output from Stone Edge, because it gives you a free turn, basically. Substitute, if you're going with it, not a dual dance, but like just a rock polish, sub-rock polish could work. I don't think I've ever seen it on Landorus on any YouTuber's team or any draft league that I've been in, but I feel like it can work. And then there's Smackdown, which probably would take the place of the Rock Slide, because it's still a rock type move. And it does basically gravity, but it's only on that specific mon. So if you have this against the Celesteela, or like this against a Toxapex or whatever, I don't know, I've been using Toxapex a lot. Let me think of another poison type. Let's say you're having this against a Drapion and the opponent also has a Celesteela, and you predict the Celesteela are coming in. It's pretty obvious because he needs to keep the Drapion alive because it's his win con. He brings in Celesteela, you click Smackdown. You do neutral damage because it's a steel type as well as a flying type. You smack it down, and now he's on the ground. And that's his only ground immunity on the team that he brought. Now you have free reign to click Earthquake. You can either do a ton of damage and potentially Oko Celesteela or KO it depending on what its health is at. Or you force him to switch out and have him take extra damage with an Earthquake on something that he might need. Or she. So, niche, yes, very niche, very situational as well. A lot of prediction could work. But with that being said, I feel like I kind of talked about as much as I can with Landorus and why I personally feel like it's the best. But I'm just going to wrap it up with saying very versatile, multiple different things it can do for a team on both the 11 or 12 Mon team as well as the 6 Mon team that you're bringing to the match itself. But it's not too versatile, in which anyone can pick up a Landorus and after a little bit of practice can understand the fundamentals of how to use Landorus and can use it successfully to help support their team and to give them success through wins. So that's my thing. Great ability. I feel like stat distribution is on point, as it could be great move pool. Could it be slightly better? Yes, but I feel like that goes with everything. Great move pool as it is. Very versatile, but not too versatile, so it helps everyone out. Both advanced players and non-advanced players. So I guess with that being said, my video is now at its conclusion. So thank you for listening for me ramble on for a good period of time. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like and tell me if you want me to do this again or if this was just a bust. I don't know, I kind of had fun with it. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed and see you next time. Bye bye.